Don't ever let these fucking people tell you that they give a shit about how things run in this country again, because they don't. Congress appropriates funds. Congress, specifically the House of Representatives, says, just to break it down in the simplest of terms, this much is going to be spent on this, and this much is going to be spent on that, this much is going to be spent on education, and this much is going to be spent on defense, and this much is going to be spent on whatever. They determine how much is supposed to be spent. Then, the individual agencies under the federal government, the Department of Energy, the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Education, the Department of this, the Department of that, they take the funds that are appropriated by Congress and spend it as Congress told them to spend it. That's how that works. Okay? If Congress appropriates is the right term, appropriates money to build a school on a military base, then the Department of Defense takes that funding from Congress and spends it on a school on a military base. Period. That's how it works. This administration does not give a fuck what Congress has appropriated. They're doing what they want with the money. Maybe they're going to spend it all, maybe they're not, which is a violation of our Constitution. Congress appropriates the funds, the individual departments administer those funds. We've reached a period of time in which the departments are saying, no, we might not allocate all of those funds the way you said.
Are you going to allocate all of the funding Congress appropriated for students in schools in Wisconsin and across the country this year?
Well, Senator Baldwin, thank you very much for that question. And I understand your concerns. What we have done in putting forward our operating plan, the first operating plan to show where we were making allocations, and then followed up with the second operating plan.
This isn't a nuanced question. Congress passed a law appropriating this funding. You said in your confirmation hearing that you would spend funding Congress appropriated. If the answer isn't simply yes, based on all of the evidence before us, that leads me to believe that you are planning to withhold funding and shortchange schools, students, and families across America.
Well, we're going to continue to look at the allocations, and we'd like to work with you as we continue to evaluate those programs.
We passed a continuing resolution that appropriated funding, and you said earlier that you were going to spend it as appropriated as is signed into law.
Obviously, the Secretary of Education has no fucking idea how this works. We're going to continue to look at those allocations and work with you to determine. No, Congress already did its job. It doesn't need you to work with them. Congress said, this is what you're going to spend on this. Now it is your job to go spend that on that. It is not your job to evaluate and reconsider what Congress did. Spend the fucking money that Congress allocated.